Chapter 1. Gods or God. The gods in the Bible were an alien race called Dingir. We translate that to gods. Their team names were Anunnaki and Igigi. I know this sounds far-fetched, but to me, an invisible man in the sky who planned to wipe out humanity with a flood and informed only one person about it sounds equally implausible. Within these pages, the story of the alien gods will become so clear that by the end of this book, you'll likely say, "Wow, those Anunnaki were the gods in the Bible." I use a capital G for gods because the Anunnaki, as you'll see, were a race referred to as gods. We are called humans in the same way. You may have heard some people claim that context determines whether Elohim is singular or plural. But there's a straightforward way to show that Elohim can imply more than one god. Consider the word human. If you wrote about me, you might say, "That human just ate dinner." Does this mean the word human is singular, implying only one human exists? Of course not. The word human can refer to one person or many, depending on the context. Now, look at this. We are human. It's the same word, but now it's plural, referring to more than one person, simply because of the words around it. Similarly, the Dingir, a Sumerian term often translated as gods, can refer to multiple deities, but it depends on the surrounding words. For example, if we say, "The Dingir, gods, were upset," it's clear there's more than one deity. Otherwise, it would be phrased as the god or a god. As you read through this book, you'll see that Marduk, one of the Dingir, gods, rose to prominence. He reshaped the narrative to position himself as the primary Dingir, God. This is reflected in the Bible, where you see both gods, plural, and God, singular. As I've explained, the same word can be used for both singular and plural. That means even when referring to one god, the term may still imply a plurality. It stems from its origin as a name for a race of divine beings. Just as we say, "I am human," or "we are human," the same logic applies to Elohim or Dingir. In the Bible, no matter how devoted someone is, they have to admit there are times the Bible that mentions gods, and because it does that, we cannot say there is only one God. Otherwise, we would be changing the Bible to fit our own agenda. Let's start from the beginning. You may think the Bible isn't the only place where God is mentioned. You'd be correct. Gods or a god have been referenced worldwide. Does this mean many gods visited Earth simultaneously? Or does it suggest there was one god, or set of gods, and people around the world created their own versions based on these same beings? I can't help but show that the gods were a race of aliens who travelled to different regions on Earth. The humans in those areas gave them different names. Some of the research and evidence in this book has never been explained before, except on my website, www.ourtruehistory.co.uk. First, we need to examine when the concept of a god or gods was first mentioned ever. This occurred in Mesopotamia, now modern-day Iraq. The Sumerians lived in a region of Mesopotamia called Sumer. You can read the full books from Amazon. Almighty Gods or Anunnaki Gods books 1 and 2.